Hello and welcome to my collection. Today I'm going to share with you how I make bean soup. This is a Romanian style bean soup recipe. It's very hearty, very satisfying, and not to mention very easy to make. Once you taste it, you will crave it. I bought this chunk of ham I needed for a different project, so I cut whatever I needed for that project, and this is what's left over. So instead of throwing it away, I'm going to make bean soup with it. But before I put this in the pot to boil, I'm going to remove all those fat pieces that I see on the side. I don't like fat floating into my soup, so I'm gently removing everything. I'm going to place the entire ham together with the bone into the pot. I'm not going to cut it in pieces because as it boils, it's going to just fall off the bone. Truly what I need from this ham here is just the bone, because the bone is so full of flavor and I don't really have to put any other seasoning next to it. Then take about 4 or 5 large carrots and cut them in bigger chunks, bigger pieces, and add them next to the ham in the pot there. And then to that I'm going to add 1 bag of white beans, the Norton beans. What I did, I took the beans, I washed them, and I pre-soaked them for about 4 or 5 hours. Ideally, they should be pre-soaked overnight, but if you don't have time, you can even put them right away, just wash them and put them in the pot. It's perfectly fine even that way. What will happen if you soak it overnight, it will just speed up that cooking process. Then cover it up with water. Take 1 onion, cut it in half, and chop it in small pieces. 1 half is going to be saved for later, and the other half will go in the pot right now. Once the onion is in the pot together with the rest of it, mix it a little bit and then place it on the stove to boil. So the beans are on the stove boiling, and now I'm working on the next step, which is cutting the dill. Over here I have 2 bunches of fresh dill. I've already washed it, and I tried to cut off that stem, the thicker part of the dill, so I'm just saving the little leaves. And I'm chopping the dill very small, and then I'm going to add it into the pot to boil together with the rest of the soup. Initially, it might look like there is a lot of dill, but as it starts boiling, you'll notice that it isn't. It's just the right amount. So I'm not adding any other ingredients here. I'm not adding salt or pepper or anything. The ham is salty already, so that's enough salt from the ham, and that bone has such a nice flavor that truly you don't need anything else next to it. And now I'm going to cook it for about 2 hours on medium-high heat. As it cooks, you will notice that the color will become more opaque, the meat is going to fall off the bone, and the beans are becoming creamier. The entire soup becomes more creamier, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Keep cooking it. At about 2-hour mark, take the other half of the onion that you have saved, place it in the frying pan with 1/4 cup of oil, and saute it until the onion turns to be golden brownish in color. When the onion turns gold brownish, then go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of paprika. What I have to do once I'm adding the paprika, I have to literally lift off the frying pan off the stove, because if I continue to keep this frying pan on the stove with the paprika in, it's going to burn, and burnt paprika tastes horrible. So with one hand I'm adding the paprika here, and right away I lift up the frying pan off the stove, as you can see, and I'm mixing it as I'm transferring the entire mixture into the pot with the soup. And there you go. Now everything's gonna go into the pot, and let it cook for another hour. And don't forget, keep mixing it while the soup is cooking. I made the soup in the pressure cooker as well, but I have to say I prefer to make it on the stove. When I boiled it in the pressure cooker, what I noticed is that the beans have cooked really well, really fast, except they weren't as mushy as they are right now on the stovetop. And since I like mushier beans, a more creamier look to my soup, I'm going to stick with the stovetop. But if you prefer to have beans that are more firm and you have a pressure cooker that you would like to use, go ahead and use it. It's doable in the pressure cooker just as well. The only thing that I did different with the pressure cooker is I put everything at the beginning, everything together. All the carrots, the onion, the ham, the beans, and the onion with the paprika. And here it is. Very satisfying, very hearty, like I said. Hope you try it. Let me know how it turns out. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Thanks for watching.